Hi everybody, it's Josh with Talk About Trek, and today we're going to talk about Kirk toys. And man, we have a lot of Kirk toys to talk about, so let's jump right in and have a look at what we've got. So right off the bat, you're going to jump in with the most fantastic Kirk toy you could possibly imagine, which is of course your cardboard cutout Captain Kirk toy. Imagine moving this around your game board. I mean, for real, that's something that you're not going to forget anytime soon. But actually, seriously, we have a lot of very good Kirk toys to look at, but that was one that came with some little book that you could actually break out all sorts of different things, but that's about the only one that survived, I believe, to this point. But what we're actually going to start out with will be I thought for a bit of how to do this, and I figured let's save the very best for last. And the best is going to be the Playmates stuff. So we're going to save that for last. And we're actually going to start out with some Kirk ornaments. Because they were on the Kirk shelf up there. And they came down to be dusted, which means that we have to show them now. So here's the first Kirk ornament, which is Kirk versus Gorn. And I mean, the Gorn looks pretty cool, but when you take a closer look at Kirk, oh boy, the face leaves a little something to be desired, I would say. But I mean, hanging on a Christmas tree, you're not really going to notice that, so that's not too big of a deal. I mean, look at it from that distance, and it's a pretty nice ornament. Second off, here we go, Kirk in the captain's chair. And again, when you take a closer look, not so great, and also a little dusty, but we'll take care of that. But again, from a distance and on a Christmas tree, a fine little Kirk to have. And last of the ornaments here, and I would say probably my favorite, got your Wrath of Khan, Kirk and Spock. So, not too bad on that one. Oh, look at poor Spock. So, there's our three ornaments that we have to look at. So, those are not the greatest of likenesses, you could say. So let's see if we can move on to some things that look a little bit more like Kirk. So, let's start here. I'm sure you have all seen the Kirk cupcake. But you can get the Kirk cupcake along with several other varieties of Star Trek cupcakes. But we've got him there. We've also have this fine Kirk bobblehead with the kind of cylinder-shaped bobbling head. We've got Pewter Kirk. He's got to go way back so you can have a look, but sideways, I'm not so sure about this one. But yeah, they gave her back to me. From a distance, not so bad. Skeely Kirk. If you ever wanted to see a Kirk with a skeleton mouth and freaky black eyes, he's right there. We got the Kawaii Kirk. A little squishy. Nice Kirk there. We got this guy. And again, it's good for a laugh, right? But not the greatest. So we'll set him there. He doesn't even want. He doesn't deserve to even stand with the rest of them. And then we do have this pretty sweet statue, and I'm just going to slip him in from the side. But again, when you look at the the paint job close on some of these things, they do look a bit silly. But from a distance, and especially when you got him standing next to old Mir Spock, and that's a pretty sweet statue. So that covers the kind of the Kirks that you really can't play with. These are statues, these are ornaments, they just kind of hang out. Now we can get into the Kirks that are actually pretty fun here. So let's see what else we can talk about. So before we get to the Playmates stuff, let's cover the last of these kind of odds and ends and strange little Kirks. So first off, we have the Burger King Monster Maroon Kirk, who is very not so bad, I guess, as far as the other ones went. This is a decent likeness there. We do have a few of the mini-mates. So here he is before battle, and here he is after with the ripped shirt, because that's going to happen always. And then we got a tiny little, I think a Creo Mir Kirk. At least I think that's a Kirk. And then we do have one Chris Pine Kirk. Who's this little guy here? So those are all the kind of odds and ends of the Kirk collection that we've got to show. Now we can jump in to the real action. So before we get to the really awesome Playmates line, let's cover the big guys here. So we've got your Giant Kirk without a ripped shirt, Giant Kirk with a ripped shirt, and of course your Giant Kirk with an environmental suit. And all the faces are the same here, but if you look at his lips, I've always thought that they were a little bit weird. See if it's the same for all of them. Alright, now that we got those out of the way, we can start to really have some fun. So, the Playmates line of Kirks produced quite a few very decent figures for us to look at here. So we're going to try to do it in some kind of an order here. Let's see if we can remember. I believe the first Kirks that they put out were the ones that came with like the box sets. So you've got kind of your regular Kirk here. Let's make sure we got enough room for all the Kirks. No domino effects either. Everybody standing at attention. Then we have this Kirk, who you think might be the same, but if you look, he is not. A little bit of added detail there on that nice Kirk here. Now, switching over, maybe one of my favorites here, we have our dress uniform Kirk. Look at all that. So, again, Playmates doing a good job with the detailing. And already, I mean, look, the face of these Kirks is already better than any of the other ones we looked at today, I would say. Now here you got your casual wraparound Kirk. Looking good. Stay right there. We're going to save these ones for later. They're not the best, but we're still going to save them for last. We have a couple of different ones here. So here's your Kirk from, and I think this is from the City on the Edge of Forever. Kind of in this casual attire here. Pretty cool, but no posability. Look at that. Nothing. No bending at the elbows. No bending at the knees. Just standing still. But he's striking a nice pose. And we do have the environmental suit Kirk with his helmet somewhere safely tucked away in a bag, I am sure. Oh, there went that domino effect we were worried about. Almost. Okay. That's a good amount of Kirks. So, we got a couple of more Playmate Kirks to talk about that I have here. And unfortunately, while they look nice, get your Monster Maroon here. Well, save him for last, I guess. And you've got your... this was cut... Oh, there he went. This was cut from the original opening of Generations, but this is when he was doing some, like, high-altitude skydiving. That's the suit for his high-altitude skydiving. But, now, this will give us a great chance to compare this to this beauty that we talked about last week. So here is the Monster Maroon from the Generations line against the Monster Maroon that was released just recently. So he stands a little bit taller, looking a little bit thinner. I mean, just obviously with the improvements that have come with time, this is going to look better than that. So, but man, even in that time, these are some really awesome looking toys. But the new ones, I have to say, really knock it out of the park. So that is all of the Playmates. We do have a few special surprises to look at here before all is said and done. Here is our beat up and broken, but still Mego Kirk. And he came with a kind of beat up Mego bridge that I had picked up. Somebody drew his command insignia back on there, but that's fine with me. He's a fine addition to the collection. And then we do have the very large and very lovable Knickerbocker Kirk here. So he is kind of stinky, but I don't want to wash him. I think maybe he was stored somewhere with some water. I picked him up at a flea market, and the box was pretty wrecked, but all in all, you know, not too bad of a thing. So that's all the Kirks that I have. So you're saying, well, that can be all the Kirks out there. No, there's definitely more Kirks out there. So let's talk about the Kirks that are still out there somewhere for me to find. So the first Playmates Kirk comes with the Galileo shuttle. And you're saying, well, that looks just like that other one you showed us. That one. But it's not. This one actually has a collar on it like this Scotty does. So another rare Kirk to search for at some point is this one right here. And you can get that on eBay for not too bad. So hopefully someday I'll be able to find it at a flea market for a steal, which is always what we want. Next, look at that. So you think, that's just environmental suit Kirk, right? No, he is in interphase. And if you look at the bottom half of his legs, they're kind of like fading out there. We also have this exclusive Kirk, who was one of those things you have to send away for, but as a gangster from a piece of the action. Of course, the classic movie series Kirk set, which we don't have. I have, I think, all of them, maybe even Spock, except for him and a couple others, so almost all of them. And then we've got the Amok Time set. And I think that one is the most expensive one out there to find on eBay. So we'll see if we can ever find that one at a decent price. So those are the four that I don't have. In my lap, I did forget two, actually, here, that we can look at. So let's look at these last two before we go. And these are the Art Asylum Kirks, which are pretty good likenesses, but they're really tall, so they're just going to sit. But not bad, in the casual green wrap around there. And then, of course, we have the Amok Time Art Asylum Kirk, who looks like he's taken a little bit of battle damage over the years, but hey, that's what toys are for anyway. So, wow, that was a lot of Kirk toys. But there's still more out there to look for, still more things out there to find, so that's exciting. Before we go, I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. big deal. I got over 100 subscribers on this channel. And when I started this channel, I never expected anyone to watch me sit here and rant about toys and books and other wonderful things in the world of Star Trek at all, ever. So, thank you to everyone that does watch, and lots more to come because there's just so much to talk about in this wonderful world. So, uh, as always, guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Live long and prosper, and we'll see you next time. Bye.